But what we want to do first is show you how do you get a Bosch camera into the portal. Well, it's super simple. We utilize a new app that Bosch released about a year ago. It's called Project Assistant, and it's all about making commissioning simple. So Project Assistant has the ability to either commission entire projects or individual cameras. And while we're only going to do an individual camera today, we're going to show you the project side just so that you kind of understand a few of the capabilities. Project Assistant is available for download on our download store, and you'll see it integrates with the cloud, meaning we can connect this assistant to a Dropbox account, so you can share even large files from within people among your organization. So Frank's going to hit create a new project, and he's going to give this project a name. This is just for test stuff, so he's got his home base going on here. He's going to give it a password, so this is going to allow us to password protect this file, this project file, so that if I do share it with other folks, we know that nobody is accessing it that shouldn't be. You can add a hint in case you want to share it within your organization. So once Frank hits OK, now we've got our home base project, and we can add a location if we want to. We can adjust the password. We can just hit next. It's pretty much a wizard at this point. And it's going to start asking us about our camera defaults for this project. Now this is going to apply to all of the cameras in the project. And you'll notice the very first thing it asks us for are remote portal credentials. So Frank is going to give the project assistant the exact same credentials that he just gave to the remote portal when he logged in. So now Project Assistant knows where Frank's remote portal account is. He's also going to give a password to all of the cameras. It's important to note that Bosch, there is no default Bosch password. We have to set one for all cameras because that's a huge security issue. In this case, we're just going to make all these cameras DHCP. Router's going to hand it out. We're going to have it sync to this PC when it comes online. And there we go. We've got our global settings for this project done. So again, this is just a wizard. So you can see the wizard is already asking him to start adding cameras. The plus sign is flashing. So Frank's going to hit plus and indicate that he wants to add a camera. We've got a number of ways that we can do that. We can scan a QR code. We can scan the network. Some of our cameras even have Wi-Fi connectivity, or we can manually enter an IP address. In this case, we're going to scan the network, and you'll see Frank has several cameras that come up. With this FlexiDome 3000i in particular, we know is brand fresh out of the box, the way it would be delivered to you. And he's going to, all he's done is unboxed it and plugged it in. So he's going to add that camera. So what happens once we've got a camera on the network is we've got 3 steps. Easy as 1, 2, 3, as they say. So the first thing that we're going to do is go into basic setup. Here's where we name the camera. Notice also that the MAC address was automatically imported from the network when we connected to the camera. You'll notice that the password is already set because we set that globally. You'll also notice that the network settings, being DHCP, is already set because we set that globally, and it's also set to sync. So we're just going to hit check that we accept these changes. It's going to ask us, do we want to write that to the camera? And we're going to say yes. And we'll get a big green flag at the top that says that we've done those things, and go back to overview. So now you'll notice our step 1 has a green check mark, says we're done. So we're going to go to step 2, image settings. If we did everything right, look at that. We've got Frank right here giving us a wave right there on his camera, but it's not perfect. We've got some image adjustments. So you can see from the image settings here, we can make some changes to the sensor. We can get into the browser and do all kinds of fun stuff. In this case, we definitely want to rotate the image because Frank's upside down. So he's going to hit change 180 degrees, and bang, now we really have Frank. He even shaved for this today. He's looking good. We can do things like alignment for cameras that support that. Of course, we can do autofocus as well. In this case, our focus looks pretty good. So we can also set the height of the camera, which is an important calibration element for video analytics. Today, we just want to get a good picture. So Frank's got his picture up here. You'll notice that not only do we have a green check mark indicating that step 2 is complete, but we also show here that there was a snapshot taken just a few seconds ago upon completion of that task. So this app, Project Assistant, also gives us the ability to report on our project when it's done. So it's going to take a snapshot from every camera that we commission, along with a sign-off page and in a report that goes to our customer that says, here are all of the images that are coming from these cameras, the names, the network settings, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, how do these look to you? If you like them, sign the sign-off page. If you don't, we'll make adjustments and we'll print a new report. Pretty slick. Here you can see that Frank has already dove into step 3, which is connectivity. So he's going to select the mode to on, pretty straightforward, only 2 choices. And as soon as he does that, camera, fresh out of the box, is going to try to contact the Bosch remote portal. And you'll see it says connectivity state available. His account information is already included because he set that up globally. So all he has to do is hit register. We'll give it a second. This camera is going to reach out to the portal and create a secure handshake between this camera and the portal. The portal is the only website that this camera is allowed to talk to. And it does run entirely on a secure connection. We'll talk more about network security in a few minutes. Obviously, confirmation, we got a green check mark. Go back to overview. So here you see we've got steps 1, 2, and 3, green check marks for all of them. We're done. So we're going to hit finish camera setup at the bottom. So now we have a summary. Note the very first thing in the summary says seal created just a moment ago when we hit complete camera setup, meaning that this camera setup is sealed and we can actually set the camera up to alarm if anybody tries to change this setup. Here you can see all of the stuff that's included in that commissioning report. Name of this camera, the MAC address, the serial number, its network settings, and the snapshot. So the customer has everything they need to evaluate each shot and make sure that it's exactly as they want it. So that's it. That's the whole thing. 3 steps, done.